What is going on, Obsidian Gamers? Here we are back in our lab, ready to bring you another local diaries. So without further ado, Pen Best Deck. Alright, as we had said, we are going to be playing our new Supreme King Z Arc Magician Pendulum deck. We are back on our pendulum train, and we probably will be for a little bit, because I am super excited to be playing this deck. I have been playing Magician Pendulum since 2015, so the deck's kind of been on a little back burner, a little old, so we haven't featured it on the channel until today, where we finally got our new support from AGOV Overlord, and I am excited to show it to you guys. So without further ado, let us swing into action and let me show you our new Pendulum profile. Alright you guys, let me show you our Supreme King Magician Pendulum profile. So we'll start off with our main deck. So because of Age of Overlord, we were able to acquire our new Supreme King Gate Magician, which is the star of the show. We pair it off with triple Odd Eyes Revolution, triple Supreme King Dragon Darkworm, triple Wisdom Eye Magician, triple Skull Cravat Joker, 2 Double Iris with 1 Harmonizing, 1 Pendulum Sorcerer, 1 Celestial Magician, 1 Astrograph, 1 Odd Eyes, and then 1 Supreme King Dragon Lightworm, and 1 Supreme King Gate 0. So this is our Pendulum lineup. So because Wisdom Eye can scale any Magician, we can scale the Supreme King Gate Magician, the Double Iris, the Harmonizing, the Celestial. It's really great. Skull Cravat literally searches everything but the Supreme King Dragon Darkworm and Lightworm, and the Supreme King Gate 0. So I mean, it's probably one of the best normal summons of the deck. Revolution searches out these guys along with the Odd Eyes. Astrograph is just really great for, I mean, it's Astrograph for the reason why it's still limited, I guess. Should be able to come free. Celestials is another search, and depending on whatever you got on board. Sorcerer is just really good to have used popping the Double Iris. Harmonizing is a free special summon for some Synchro or Exceed plays. And then Darkworm gets you into any of your other Supreme King stuff, so the Gate Magician, the Lightworm, the Gate 0. It's really good. But we always want to see the Supreme King Gate Magician in our hand. So moving on to some spell and traps that we play. We do play 1-star Pendulum Graph with the 1 time. We want to be able to get these off with Double Iris just to abuse time Pendulum Graph. We do also follow up with triple Wings of Light to get us into our Supreme King Dragons or Supreme King Gates. And we do play 2 Dragon Shrine with 1 Foolish Burial. I am contemplating upping the Dragon Shrine to 3 to pair with the Foolish Burial because we want to send Darkworm to the graveyard. And then we do play 1 Soul of the Supreme Celestial King and 1 of the Soul of the Supreme King. So these are really great. I like being able to special out ZR for free, then use it's a graveyard effect to banish the Zark, and then you can get the extra deck monsters that you play that work for this. Soul of the Supreme King, get out Zark nuke your opponent's board. Really wonderful. And then just to round out our main deck, we do follow up with triple Ash, 1 Called By, and 2 Talents. So I figured we want to see more of our Pendulum stuff. So our hand trap lineup is tiny, but we do have enough that if we see it, it comes in handy. If we don't see it, whatever. Called By, really just a good one of to just kind of hit sacky cards, or if your opponent throws a hand trap at us, Called By the Grave comes in. Talents, again, hand trap gets thrown at us, we can draw 2, rip a card, or if we're going second, we can steal a card. So it fuels our engine either way. Moving on to our extra deck. Can't play Zark without the star of the show, so we play 2 Supreme King Zarks followed by 1 Odd Eyes Arc Ray. I really love these 2 in tandem. Odd Eyes Arc Ray may not have like the greatest ability, but I mean, it's still good enough to warrant playing at 1. Also, Zark's scale effect, if your opponent adds anything from deck to hand, you can just snipe it out, which is really good. And you know, your opponent gets locked out of Fusion Seeker and Exceed monsters. So, really great. For other fusions, we play 1 Predapower, Fusion Dragon, 1 Vortex. Honestly, thinking about swapping it for Starving Venom, but Predapower, I just put it in because high attack buff. So that's really it. Vortex is Vortex, and it's always just really good for an extra Omni Negate. Moving for Synchros, we play 1 Crystal Clearwing Synchro Dragon, 1 Borderlord Savage with 1 Supreme King Dragon Clearwing. I like to play these guys just because he's a spell trap negate, and then it banishes it, which is really, or destroys it, sorry. As well, you know, he makes himself immune to that face-up monsters effect, which can come in sometimes. Savage is Savage, Supreme King Dragon Clearwing, really good for just clearing boards if you need to. Then we play 1 Absolute, 1 Odd Eyes Rebellion XCs. So as I may not have said, but you know, here are our targets for the Soul of the Celestial Supreme King, along with Rebellion being the other target. So I mean, he's okay to go into an Xseed. You could play the Dark Rebellion, but I like playing this just because he has a higher attack power. And Absolute is what gets you into your Vortex. So that's it for that line. Then for our link line, we play 1 Beyond, 1 Selene, 1 Xseed, 1 Apollosa, 1 Axis Code. So I am trying out the Xseed line because I think it's really cool. Just being able to add 1 back and then using its ability to special summon it from either your hand or graveyard is really good. Selene really counts on having spells, so that's why I'm a little iffy about it. But Selene is also just a good way to get an Axis Code Talker and just kind of go for game. Apollosa is Apollosa, and however materials you use is really good. Beyond, it's Beyond the Pendulum. That's our big searcher for our deck. And then our side. So our side looks a little unique. We do play 1 Psychic End Punisher, 1 Supreme King Dark Rebellion, and then another Beyond. Just in case the XC doesn't work, we just side in our second copy of Beyond. Supreme King Dark Rebellion is just really good against those monsters that are unaffected by monster effects. He is able to gain the attack and then lower the attacks. I mean, it gets around that whole unaffected thing. And then Psychic End Punisher, since we do play our life points off of Beyond, we do pay life points off of Revolution Dragon. We can get our life points lower enough, and Harmonizing, especially out Supreme King Gate Magician, Synchro Summon, Psychic End Punisher. So that's my whole reasoning behind it. That's another game closer. Then we play hand traps. We play triple Nibiru, triple Ghost Mourner, and then the Chill. We do play these guys just for the combo heavy stuff, being able to stop it like Imperm, but I just wanted to go with the Ghost Mourner instead because it is also a level 3 tuner for our 8s that we can get into Psychic End Punisher again. Then we play 1 Change of Heart, 2 Herald of the Abyss, 1 Duster with double Cyclone to round out our side deck, just to get rid of back row cards, you know, again, unaffected stuff. We use the Abyss, Change of Heart. I mean, I just love this copy just because it is the Pharaoh's rare. So it's kind of a flex for me, but at the same time, Change of Heart is just another really good card that we can go Skullcrabat effect, they ash it, we can go Change of Heart, steal Link, and get into our lovely Beyond the Pendulum and just kind of pop off. So that is it for our profiles. Let's see if we can top with the Magicians today and summon out Supreme King Z Arc. So let's head over to locals and see how we do.
How's it going, you guys? So round 1 is over for me. There's 13 minutes left in time. We play against Labyrinth. Game 1, he goes first, sets up his board. I do the nuts, break his board, summon out Z Arc, swing for game. Really great. Game 2, he goes first again, sets D barrier, calls Pendulum. I was not about ready to have that D barrier loop, so we went game 3. Game 3, I opened the worst hand possible, seeing only Skullcrabat and the Supreme King Gate Magician. He imperms the Skullcrabat, and I could not push past that point. So we ended up taking an L in round 1 playing Pendulum. Honestly, poor side choices probably, in my opinion, for myself. But, I mean, you play with the hands you get. So, we're going into round 2 here eventually, I guess. And we'll see what happens. There are other duels going on, so we might just spectate a little bit, see what goes on.
Look at this featured match right here.
This is what we call insanity. Yeah.
Other than raisins effect,
The Labyrinth players gotta think hard. We'll come back to this unless this is really good. Yeah, we'll come back to see how this goes. Okay, guys, so round 2 and 3 just kind of went by really quick. So round 2, it went pretty much 2-time, playing against Runic, Fur Hire, Sprite, the whole laundry list. Game 1, I was able to just ZR control. Game 2, he tried to mill me out, but I had 9 cards left. I was able to break his board, the Runics, Sprite, and we went for game. Both games, though, he did debury me and called Pendulums. I mean, looks like we got a commonality with the rounds today. Round 1, round 2 being deburied. Then we go to round 3, playing Branded Despot, the same deck that we played against last week, playing our lovely Cyber Spile. Game 1, he set up great board. Game 1, he set a great board. I had a hard time playing through it. He ended up taking the win. Game 2, we both went back and forth. We didn't have the best hands. Deburied me, called Pendulum. I was able to take the win though, just barely. Game 3, he set up the nuts board. I looked at my hand and I was like, we can do this. We got Change of Heart, the one card I sided in. Triple Tactics Talent, All by the Grave, Wisdom Eye, and Harmonizing. So he sets up Dragoon, Rebellion, Theater, and Masquerade. I go Change of Heart to try and take control of the Masquerade, so I'm not paying Tax Dragon, but he goes into Dragoon Negates. So I go Tactics, and we take the Dragoon. We use Dragoon to pop, he takes the 25, and we just proceed to break the board with an Axis Go board with Savage, Vortex. Just had enough negates, just in case. But we swung in for game, and we end up taking round 3. So far, I am loving this Pendulum Edition build. There's slight differences I'd like to make going further on with the deck, but hey, I am loving this. It is working out great, and hey, it is pretty budget too if you're wanting to pick it up and play it yourself. So we'll see where we stand in rounds or standings, and then we'll see what happens. So stay tuned, duelists. So it finally came to his resounding solution, and this man's the winner.
I honestly thought
Burn for game. Pretty funny. So I guess we will wait and see where standings are. Whew! What a locals. So we had such quite diversity today. Seeing Vanquish Soul, Branded, Labyrinth, Marincess, Libromancer, Sprite for Higher Runic, Dark Magician, Goatee. We saw a variety of decks today. And honestly, it was so fun. Playing Magician Pendulum Zark has been by far my favorite Magician Pendulum, or just in Pendulum deck in general that I've played on this channel, and I am excited to continue it going forward. So my overall rating for today was pretty dang high. Losing the Labyrinth kind of was sacky and it sucked, but I mean, hey, he played better than I did, so I will admit that. He had the right outs, he had the gas, and he was able to push forward for game. So I mean, kudos to him. Rounds 2 playing against the Sprite Rune Fur Hire, and round 3 playing against Branded Despot were all great and phenomenal matches for me to test out my deck. And I'm so happy that I was able to come up victorious. But there are still moments to improve, to learn, to grow. And so we will do that going into our next local diaries for this Magician Pendulum build. So without further ado, that is everything, you guys. So if you like the content, like and subscribe. Stay tuned for more because we are coming back with more Pendulum Profile. Mainly this one. But hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because we're going to keep on summoning Zark. We're going to keep on swinging into action. And we are going to give a dual-tainted experience to both you and our opponent. So we'll catch you in the next one, duelists.